Attention Birds fans, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on the Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run. A power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. Stay tuned, the market may be about to gain new chapters. After already moving aggressively with trades and impactful signings this season. But before that, if you are a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, if you are passionate about the Eagles, leave your like and subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Let's get to the news. There has been a lot of talk about the Philadelphia Eagles and safety Gardner Johnson in recent days. That's because the Houston Texans shocked the NFL world on Tuesday by releasing the veteran safety. Unsurprisingly, this immediately raised questions about whether a reunion would make sense or not. There was a lot of conflicting information on social media about whether the Eagles could or could not re-sign Gardner Johnson if they wanted to. But you can ignore that. If the Eagles wanted to re-sign Gardner Johnson, they could, according to NFL rules. The debate on social media came from a misinterpretation of a rule involving a traded player and the possibility of returning to a team that traded him. But the barrier was a minimum of 4 games with the acquiring team. That doesn't matter in this case. Gardner Johnson was released and is a free agent. He is free to sign with whoever he wants. But will that happen with the Eagles? ESPN's Adam Schefter commented on the safety and hinted that any reunion is unlikely at the moment on 97.5 The Fanatic during an interview with Kincaid and Salciunas. The start of the Eagles' 2025 season has been intense, almost like a roller coaster. The team started with 3 straight wins, holding a 3-0 record and staying undefeated. But let's be fair, not everything was as perfect as the scoreboard suggests. The wins came, but they also exposed areas that need fixing if the franchise wants to repeat last year's success and actually fight for back-to-back Super Bowl titles. And if there's one area that stands out, and not just recently, it's the secondary. The pass defense has been inconsistent. In just 3 games, they've given up 557 passing yards. Not an outrageous number, but for a team that wants to face explosive offenses throughout the season, it's the kind of stat that raises a red flag. The defense as a whole has been steady, allowing about 21 points per game, but if the team truly wants to establish itself at the top of the NFC, it needs to step up. And it's in this context that a piece of news capable of changing the season's course arises: the possibility of Gardner Johnson returning. Yes, the same safety who was vital in the 2022 Super Bowl run and a key piece in the 2024 championship. CJ is known for being a true playmaker, a defender who turns the secondary into a wall when healthy. His energy and ability to create turnovers are rare assets. And now he's on the market after being surprisingly released by the Houston Texans after just 3 games played in 2025. The cut shocked the league. After all, it's not common to see a player with CJ's talent released so early. Rumors point to off-field issues as the main reason, but nothing that the Eagles, already used to dealing with strong personalities, couldn't handle. For Philadelphia, the opportunity seems obvious. Andrew Mukuba, a promising rookie, has shown quality, and Reed Blankenship remains solid. But the rotation lacks depth. Sidney Brown, for example, shows flashes but still lacks consistency. With CJ back, the Eagles would not only strengthen the unit but also add a Super Bowl experienced veteran perfectly familiar with the defensive system. That familiarity factor matters a lot. CJ already knows the locker room, the culture, the schemes, and especially Philadelphia's winning mindset. His return could provide immediate stability and, on top of that, send a clear message to the league: the Eagles are willing to do whatever it takes to get back to the big stage. From Howie Roseman's perspective, this would be another surgical move: low risk, high reward. Exactly the type of decision that sets the Eagles apart from other franchises. Of course, there are challenges: salary cap concerns, reintegrating CJ into the roster, and managing his off-field issues. But let's be honest, if there's a franchise that knows how to balance talent and discipline, it's Philadelphia. Besides, strengthening the secondary is essential in an NFC dominated by dangerous passing attacks. Division rivals Cowboys and Giants would be directly affected. CJ's return could turn the Eagles' defense from a good enough unit into one of the most feared in the league. More than just an addition, it would be a strategic move to provide consistency in decisive moments. And don't forget, Gardner Johnson has a knack for turnovers. In tight games, That could be the difference between falling short in the playoffs or advancing all the way to the Super Bowl. Fans are already starting to dream, CJ once again wearing green and white, leading the secondary, and bringing that energy only he can impose on the field. But what about you, fan? Do you think CJ Gardner Johnson's return is the missing piece to solidify the Eagles' path to another title, or should the team still look at other reinforcements? Leave your opinion in the comments and let's keep this conversation going. Because if there's one thing certain this season, it's that the Eagles aren't satisfied just with winning, they want to dominate. I don't see this as a viable situation right now, Schefter said. Could there be an injury? Could something change? Of course. But today, as we're sitting here, Wednesday, September 24th, I just don't see that right now. He could come back, he's not prohibited from coming back. But they traded him in March. They released him for the second time in March. Now, this other team, Houston Texans, which gave him more than $6.5 million, got rid of him 3 weeks later. He's an amazing player, but he's already been through many places. He has to recover and now he needs to find a new home. There you have it, from one of the sport's biggest insiders. Gardner Johnson is available and could legally sign with the Eagles, according to NFL rules. But at the moment, it's not a likely option. This has been a topic of discussion, including by Ed Cracks of Philadelphia Eagles on SI, who also noted that a deal is unlikely between the two sides.